Hi there, I'm Libby, and this is the recap video for Finding Flow with Fishtails at Wildfire May 2016. So a lot of this class was about taking our fishtails and using them as transition pieces to smooth out our flow, and also just some other hands-free entrances into some moves. Just working on getting a really nice, smooth transitions between all our moves. So we talked a little bit about fishtails themselves, and about going from one side to the other, that we can, if we're facing our fishtail, so it's in our side plane, we can switch hands at any point over here, just like a wrist wrap, or over here. So it's just like doing a wrist wrap, take it out into a fishtail, and put it back in. We can also change the direction, or we can work with the direction by crossing our body. So if I'm doing fishtail on this side, I can be facing this way, so it's on its native side. I can be facing into it, so it's in my side planes, or I can have it be crossed this way, so that I'm spinning it on my opposite side. So those let us play with forwards and reverse. Mostly we're working with reverse and trying to stay there, but for example, if I come out of a halo here, I can bring it into a reverse fishtail on my cross side and then switch it to my other hand. So we played around with that for a bit. We also talked about tucks and multi-beats. So we can take our fishtail as the end in front is coming towards us. We can tuck our hand under, almost like a rainbow stall, and continue it through over here. So we get 2 beats. We get 1, 2, 1, 2, back where we started. From here we can also get this lock position, where we have a lot of flexibility here. This allows us to go into a lot of different entrances that we'll talk about in just a moment. We also talked about kick-ups, so interesting ways to get into a fishtail from, I drop my staff. So having the center point towards your center, so your foot is on the outside, roll it up there. We're going to kick it up and catch it in a fishtail. We talked about entrances into a number of different moves using a fishtail. Using that tucked 2-beat, we can go into our halo, and again we can exit that into a fishtail. We can go into a conveyor. That's going to go here. And I'll do that facing the camera. So if I'm starting from here, it goes onto the elbow into a conveyor. Similarly, we can do a what I call it's like a conveyor halo chicken wing kind of thing. That is from here. It's the same kind of elbow work, but we're putting it over into a halo. We talked about doing our rotors into fishtails into a rotor to an angel, or coming out the front side into a vertical Steve. So from here, coming out the back, I'm going to jump it to a rotor and an angel. A little messily there. And you can also come out the front side here when this end is coming up in front of you. You can bring that theoretically into a vertical Steve. As I mentioned, that's what I'm still working on, but that's the theory behind it. We also brought our fishtails into pirouettes. So I like to go towards the thumb facing direction, so I'm following this and over and back. And for that, we're really thinking about keeping the staff in its plane, so the staff is making a circle and I'm turning underneath it. Here. As so. We did talk about going into our rainbow stalls and using that coming out into a horizontal rotor to a horizontal Steve. That's a nice little transition from horizontal to vertical. So rainbow, jump the hand out a little bit, pull it around into a Steve. And we noted that anywhere you can do that kind of a horizontal rotor, even from just your hands down here, you can bring that up. We also worked on we did some fishtail conveyor work. So in our side plane fishtails, bringing it up into a conveyor over to the other side. We also worked on adding a toss into that at the top here. That's a nice way to jazz that up. Let's see, what else do I have here? Yep, and then we had a couple other hands-free entrances. So similarly to this horizontal one here, we noted that anytime we're in this kind of a position, we can bring the staff around and dump it out there. And we can also do that just from this kind of a one-hand grip, using that rotational momentum, dump the hand out into a Steve. And I'll just show that one more time. So using Alright, so that we went over a lot of material, but that's generally what we covered in that class. I hope you find it useful for linking all your moves together and finding a nice smooth flow with your contact staff. And I'll see you next time.